phone. I'm on the phone.
And you're also on the radio.
Hey, okay, let's get the intro. Intro to the intro.
And
Boom, boom, boom.
You know what time it is.
Mighty on the scene, the Grown Folks Radio.
Yo, you forgot your time it is.
Mighty on the scene, the Grown Folks Radio.
You forgot me again.
Mighty on the scene,
You know what time it is.
mighty on the scene, the Grown Folks Radio.
Yo, you forgot me again.
Mighty on the scene, the Grown Folks Radio.
You know what time it is.
Yo, it's your boy Freckles and we holding it down. Our take coming through when we taking the crown.
Mighty on the scene with your spiritual outlet. Hot and banging topics, sports, we stay lit.
You know what time it is.
What's up, everybody? Baby.
Hey,
You know what time it is? Oh, hey, there you go over there. You know what time it is. I didn't forget you. I didn't forget you.
we can't do
I
this.
didn't. Okay, we're not going to do it every week. Yeah, it does get old. Welcome, everybody. You are listening to Our Take with Inspiration and Sports. And I'm Monty on the scene.
And it's your boy Freckles.
What up, Freckles? What
Hey,
up?
what up? Whatever.
Hey, what up?
Right.
My God. Oh yeah, that's all. That is old school. That's old school. That went back.
That's like
My
early two.
God.
Ooh, that's scary. That's scary.
But that commercial, yo, listen, that commercial was like that was what they say now is say viral because it was all over like that was and they were from Philly.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, them boys were from Philly. That was a cool thing. I
Everybody and
believe
their
that.
brother was doing the west side.
Yeah.
Everybody. And then mom,
Wow.
everybody was doing. Oh, man.
Yeah. See, I'm a commercial person. I love commercials. And I would sit there and think about like all the commercials. See, that's how I kind of like during the during the football season, the commercials that used to come on. I used to see you would see the hottest commercials during the Super Bowl. You would see the hottest commercials. Like they had a competition. That's what I think that was during the Super Bowl. There were competitions of who had the best commercial. Freckles, did we lose you? I see you there with the suit and tie on. I mean, did we lose you on camera?
I was suited and booted. No, I had to take care of something really fast. I'm sorry, I had one of those moments.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to be really discreet about it, but it didn't
Oh, okay,
happen
gotcha.
like that. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay, everybody, we're coming to you this week. We have a hot topic, and we also have I got a couple sports stats at the end.
Oh snaps!
Yeah, I want to ask a couple questions because see, this is what happens. I'm a football. I love football. We're going into football season, so we're getting ready. We're in that that pre stuff. They're doing the what you call that, getting ready and all that stuff like that.
Scrimmages and all that
First,
stuff like that.
First game. I'm looking forward to. First game will be in September. So we're just kind of getting ready. So got a couple questions, little things I want to put out there. All right, but we're gonna go on to our topic for the week.
Okay.
What is it that you have for us this week, Freck?
Drum roll, please. No.
Bro, that's how you do it.
You gotta do it like that. You can't do it fast enough. You gotta.
I think mine was better. So go ahead.
No, it's okay. So, and it is listening when God speaks. That's it.
Listening.
Listening. Listening when God speaks.
Aha! There you go. Ta-da!
Beautiful.
That was great. That was lovely. That was lovely. I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
That was right on cue. You kidding? Because it's cute.
Cue. Oh, you queued it up.
Woo! Knee slapper.
Oh, you are just so hilarious.
Oh, no,
Pun
no.
intended. Pun intended.
Yes,
Oh.
intended. I'll be here all night.
We'll be here all night. We got more coming at you.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So
Listen
listen,
to when
God
God
speak. Yeah.
You know what? Okay, I here I go with the definition.
Here we
I'm
go.
gonna do
Here we
the word listen. Oh, look at me.
Got too excited.
Camera. Yeah. Okay, listen. The word listen.
Listen.
Give one's attention to a sound. So to give your attention. Now, I kind of look a little further because I want to see more about the word itself. So these were relative words that go along with listen, which I think is very interesting. One says attend.
Attend?
One says ATTEN, attend. Attend. Like attention, part of the attention.
Yeah,
it's the beginning word of attention. Another word is stated, says get. Get, G-E-T.
Ooh,
get.
okay.
Right. But see, that's the thing. You have to think deeper with these words because I'm going to let you know another word that was on here. And when I thought about it, I'm like, whoa, that's kind of deep. Now, listen, accept is one of them. Accept. Audit, A-U-D-I-T, audit. Another word is welcome.
Oh, okay.
You hear? Welcome.
Yeah, you hear?
You hear me? Are you listening? Heart is another word.
Heart?
Heart. H-A-R-K. Heart.
Heart.
Heart. You know what heart, Hark, the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn king. Hark. So stop and listen. Hark.
Yeah.
It's an action to this. Obey, which is in there. Another one, eavesdrop. Eavesdrop. Then
some of y'all out there, that's how y'all be listening. Y'all be eavesdropping.
That's how you be listening sometimes. Eavesdropping.
Oh,
another one after eavesdrop is receive.
Okay.
Receive. Adapt. Isn't that interesting? No, adopt. I apologize. Adopt.
Oh, adopt. Okay, I can see that.
A-D-O-P-T, adopt. Now, here's one I had to think about and go deeper with it. Mind. M-I-N-D. Mind. So think about when you use the word mind. When your mom say, "You better mind your manners." Yep, or mind your manners, or mind. Right. See, I went to that one. You went to mind your business, but you know what I mean. So
I had the manners. I didn't have to hear that one. Mind your manners. I had the manners, so I didn't hear that from my mom.
Oh, you better mind yourself when you out there in them streets.
Yep.
So it's that So that's good. That was good. I had to think deeper on that one. And one is concentrate. So concentrate. Catch. I was like, catch. C-A-T-C-H. Catch. But if you're talking to me, am I catching what you're saying?
You catch that?
Did you catch that? See?
Yeah.
I was like, this is really, these are really deep when you think about it. The words, so catch. And here's another one, entertain. Listen to entertain. See?
Which is another true one because, you ain't supposed to be listening to what everybody be saying. They don't want to entertain certain things that people are saying. So that makes sense.
You see? That's why I said when the words that was there, it's like you have to think about it and be like, whoa, wait a minute. It's really wild. Monitor. M-O-N-I-T-O-R.
Yep.
Monitor. So it's monitoring what you're listening to or monitoring what's being said. You can only, take in certain, but that's a good one. And the other one is over here. That was the last one, over here.
Got you.
Over here. OVERHEAR, over here.
I got a question about one of those, but I also want to just throw this out there because I think mine's is interesting how you research listen and then how I research listen. I think is a completely different angle, and I love the different angles. And so I just want to say mine's quick.
One more thing. There was also four types of listening. I also looked that up. There's 4 types of listening. You have a deep state of listening. There's 4.
Again?
One is deep state. There's 4 types of listening. One is a deep state of listening. Deep, DEEP, when you're committed to understanding the speaker's perspective. You see that? So whatever you're bringing me, I'm going to be deep into it.
That's funny because that's where I was kind of going to go, which I figured that you were going the other way, so I was going to go that way. Mine's are listening though, different types of but they're different. They're not.
Okay, so then I'll give you mine. Then you go into yours. It was deep, full, FULL, full state of listening, critical, and therapeutic.
So I have 5 different ways of listening. It's appreciative listening, empathetic listening, discerning listening,
Yes,
comprehensive listening, and
say it again. What?
Comprehensive. Like
Comprehensive. Yes. Yes, a comprehensive. Yes.
And then evaluative listening.
Evaluate.
Go into each one a little bit.
Okay. Good stuff.
All right, so I'm gonna go into each one a little bit.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
I'm going to practice my listening skills to what you were saying right now.
Beautiful. And we were gonna see what kind of listening you're doing.
Yes.
Let's see if you can guess
Is
what
there
kind
a
of
quiz at the end of this? I don't know. Is there a quiz?
There might be. So I need you to listen.
Okay, let me make sure I write down some notes. All right.
Listen up. You catch me? All right. So what we have here.
I'm feeling you.
We have 5 different types of listening.
Whoa, hey. All right.
So we have number 1.
Number 1.
Appreciative listening.
Oh,
This
yes.
type of listening, this is listening for enjoyment. Perhaps at a concert, or even if you play at a church. That was another example on Sunday morning. When you practice appreciative listening, you are simply sitting back and absorbing. You appreciate what's happening around you, and you are not analyzing. You are not evaluating. You're just enjoying the experience.
Yes.
That's appreciative listening, which makes sense because you're appreciating what you hear.
Yes.
Say that. Número 2. Empathetic listening. Now, I think I can definitely, most likely understand.
I can relate to that.
Because this is when you're probably listening to one of your homegirls and your homeboys after a breakup or anything involving, stuff like that. So empathetic listening this is when you're listening. Yep, see? This is when you're listening to the hurts or pains of another individual and providing support and understanding for them. This is the way you would listen to a friend, or if someone who's grieving or lost a loved one. Is also a way you would listening to someone if you were counseling. And so it's a passionate, heartfelt style of listening where you're creating an emotional bond. You share the emotion, and then that's what empathetic listening is, which makes sense because empathetic is like relating to. So it makes sense that it says share the emotion. So you would probably, so that's where you would share the emotion the person's going through, happy, sadness, whatever, blah, blah. You're sharing that moment with them, or that emotion, I should say, with them.
which to say, I know a lot of times you do that. You
Oh
have a
yeah.
lot of people that, yeah, you do that a lot. And I can say that I do that a lot also. And what is also kind of interesting about that,
Mhm.
Frex, is that we have a lot of people, between you and I both, have a lot of people that just kind of talk to us. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it takes us to do, like you said, empathetic listening to be able to help that person
Mhm.
because they and I know that you have it because I mean you can comment on it. Like even strangers, like there's
Oh
people
yeah.
who's oh my gosh, who's in the street and be like, you know what? I really don't even tell people this, but I just feel so comfortable with you. And then they go on, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, cool, and at the
Yeah.
same time, I can tell you this, like a lot of those situations when I go through that, what I try to do when I'm doing empathetic listening, I try to in my mind ask God, well, I try to do it as much as possible. If there's any words that I should have right now while I'm listening to this person, especially when they're hurting, if there's words that he would want me to say, please use me so that I can, end this
Yeah.
conversation where the person doesn't go away feeling as heavy as they felt when they were sitting there, when they first came up. Because it's a heaviness on you when you
Mhm.
have that situation where you just feel like you just gotta let things go. And there's people, that's why people will give it to you because it's like they can't carry it no more. It's like these bags. They're carrying these heavy bags and they're like, here, can you please take these bags from me? And that's what it is emotionally. It's taking them heavy bags from them. So can you comment on that before you go to your next one?
Yeah, definitely. I believe that there's a few things that are actively happening with empathetic listening. And I think sometimes empathetic listening, if people trust you enough in that moment to talk to you and open up to you in those moments, I think sometimes we need to realize that those are just moments we need to take in to just kind of listen. You're not always going to have the right words to say, the right words to do. And then I believe that in those moments, if God is putting you in that position, that's where God's going to come and be God, because then that's where comes in and he fills the role as the person who fills that void or um or confides, I mean, or helps, what is that word? Or helps, what is that word? It's killing me. Helps alleviate any of the distress or pain the person is going through. And so that's one way I think is just listen and to really soak in what's going on in that moment. And I think the other one is that if someone's trusting you to with that type of information or what's going on, again, and you're being an empathetic listener, I think, like as you just said, listening and kind of asking God, okay, like what do I say? What do I need to do? Bring here, help me get the right words to say. Because sometimes it's really tough. Because I've been in situations where it's like, okay, I don't want to say the wrong thing. Like this is weighty. Like this is extremely weighty. And I have also been in moments where I asked God, why is this person telling me this? And why do people talk to me about these type of things? Very honored, very, I'm not saying it in a way to like, no, I'm very humbled too as well. People trust me to say, I mean, with these certain type of things, and I appreciate it. But I also just ask God, what is it about me that makes people feel that way or that comfortable where they can just like, I just met you, but let me just tell you my life story. Yesterday, my mom died and then my uncle died. I'm like, oh God, okay, all right, this is a lot. You know what I mean? Like this, it could be a lot in the moment. And so yeah, I've had that conversation. I need to
But
ask
he
God
never
that question
he never
again.
gives us more than we can bear.
Of
So even
course.
though you're listening to that, you know where to take it to let it off you.
Hmm.
They
Of
don't.
course. Of
You
course.
know, so them coming to you is giving them an outlet to let it go. And you are like, God, I don't, I hear what they're saying. I don't want to hold their burdens. Take these off of me. So to me, the way I look at it is that he gives it to me so that I'm able to take it to prayer and give it to him so that
Yeah.
I'm not carrying it. You know, sometimes it's that, because we also have to realize too, we're the representation of him.
Mhm.
So what draws people to you sometimes is that familiarity of
Mhm.
Christ, and which is a good thing. It's
Yeah.
a good thing. You know, it's a good thing. And I'm gonna tell you, I got a little joke, and we can move on to your next definition. Like when people be like, there was a period in time where so many people was like, you just look so familiar. You look like
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I just don't know what it is. It's something.
That's the
I
guy
don't
in
know.
me, girl.
That's exactly what I say. That's what I'll say. I'll be like, oh, that's just the Jesus in me, you know, and I'll joke with them, but honestly speaking, it may be just that, and that's where God will give it to me. It really may be just that, to where they feel comfortable, because what makes them feel comfortable is because His Holy Spirit is moving at the time
Mhm.
to draw, to draw them in. And so it's a compliment. It's a compliment.
Definitely.
And so go ahead. I'm listening to your go ahead. Your next
yeah.
one.
So the next one is gonna be discerning listening, and this is used when you want to understand. Sorry, this is used when you want to gather information. You're looking for a memorable nugget in the volume of information that is being communicated to you. Each time you hear a nugget, you store it away for another time. Often, these nuggets are stored by taking notes, collecting nuggets. That's discerning listening. I get that because
Right now, I'm listening to you. Sorry, I'm posting. I mean, I'm sharing, so I can share the.
your camera's not on anymore, but okay, gotcha.
I'm sharing. I'm sharing
Oh,
the
that's why.
Facebook page. Yes,
Okay.
that's the reason why. My apologies. I wanted to get it on there so that some of the people that I have as my friends can check it out.
Ooh,
Check it out.
word.
Yes, I know. Technical difficulties.
So,
Okay. So that's good. So discerning listening. That's a good one. You want to elaborate on that one? Because I mean.
Yeah, and so I believe that discerning listening, I think it takes me back to like that saying you hear when it says, like, you have to test the spirits, like, the Lord, to test the spirits, the Lord gives you discernment. And so discernment is, I believe, and I'll say it to the best of my ability and my take on what I think it is. Discernment is oh God, it's kind of hard to explain discernment, but it's like when you're discerning something is kind of seeking something out. It's almost like if I'm discerning, how do I
Seeking
say
the
it?
good
Huh?
in a situation, seeking out the best of it or the good in it. It's a feeling of, okay, the way of discerning something. Okay, I'm gonna give an example. This is the way. I mean, because I could look it up, but my camera will come off
Yeah,
again.
I just
give you
believe that like
that.
discerning is like looking deeper. It's looking deeper than what the eye can see, more than what the ear can hear. I think it's that next level of searching or listening or hearing something. You know what I mean? Like I think that for me,
Right.
that's what discernment is, because you can discern what's going on more than what your eyes can see, if that makes sense. So like the situation may seem sweet, it'll look like sugar.
But you have
Discerning
that
is that
feeling,
it's really salt. You know what I mean?
right? Because where the discernment comes in at is that inner feeling that tells you that this isn't right.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's that inner feeling that tells you this ain't right. There's something wrong about this.
That
Yes.
gut feeling.
That thing where they say, oh, it's that little voice. That is the Lord. That's the Holy Spirit giving you a discernment to let you know something ain't right. Well, I'm glad I went this way, because
Run,
if
girl,
I
run.
went that way, If I would have went that way, I would have been in the middle of that. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah,
So
there was this
that's
story.
where you discern.
There
Go
was
ahead.
this
What's your
story.
story?
No, there was this story when I was a kid. I don't know how true it was, but so I mean, we grew up in the Northeast. Wasn't too much craziness going on there back in the day when we lived around there. But can't say what's going on there now. But you said what?
I said up in Tacony.
Up in Tacony, Mayfair, you know, that area. So there was this one alley that we would always go down, like rain, sleet, snow. It didn't matter. We would always go down this alley. It was like this little narrow, skinny alley between like two streets, backyards. It was just
I know which one you're talking about.
narrowest area. We used to always do it all the time. So I never thought nothing of it because I grew up going through that alley. But then you would hear these different stories. And so I did stop going down the alley as much as I used to because I heard this one story of the girl who was going down the alley and she saw this guy. And the guy approached her and then he kept on going. And then come to find out, that guy had like raped and murdered, killed some girls or whatever in that same alleyway, something like that. This is how the story goes. I think it's one of those little pass around stories or whatever. And so I guess, I don't know if she was taking it for question or whatever, or when she was trying to figure out why, they questioned him to figure out why he didn't rape or kill this girl. And it was because he said when he walked past her, well, the reason why he walked past her is because she had two men walking beside her. Oops, sorry, y'all.
Wow.
And so that was like supposed to be her guardian angels. And I was like, wow, that was pretty cool. But it was
because
like one of those.
What happened is that the Holy Spirit led him to see. And he does that. It's like a thing of where, like, I'll tell people, you can't mess with a child of God. When God has your back.
That is facts on facts on facts on facts of life.
Because when you look at that situation and somebody sits there like, this guy must be crazy. What are you talking about? Some two men. Yeah, he crazy. You know, and you sit there like, all right, as crazy as it may sound, that's when God is moving. Because there's going to be no other way to bring it to reality other than to say it was nothing but God. And that's how God works. He'll do that to you. Where you sit there and be like, yeah, all right, this man saw two men beside this girl. She down that alley by herself. What two men he see?
That small little narrow alley. How in the world? Yeah.
And there was no way. You know why. I know what alley you're talking about. There's no way that there's no two men on each side of her going down that little alleyway. There's no way.
Alleyway. I don't know what alleyway they talking.
There's no way. There's no way. And it's not to take away from those who he did kill or whatever, or something like that. So I don't want to disregard that. I don't want anybody to take what I'm saying wrong or whatever. But the thing of this situation particularly is because, like he said, like, you know, once Frank said, the God, you know, God was moving, you know, moving in her life, and he moves in a lot of situations, and we can't understand them sometimes because some people be like, oh, well, why this happened to this person and this, you know, and they go into all of the, you know, the bad things that go on, and it's like there's certain things that I couldn't tell you definitely looking at it out here and say, oh, well, this is why, this is that, because you don't know the whole story. You have to know the whole story of everything for you to sit there. And we're not supposed to judge anyway, however the situation is. But in this particular situation, and just like, you know, Frex was saying, we can say that, you know, it's definitely a move. Yeah. And discernment is also what you got, because that's why you never went back down that alley.
Oh yeah, no, I think I was done.
Yeah, it was a situation of like, okay, nah, you know.
Yeah, and there's no telling what like God was saving me from.
Yeah.
You know, I've been in so many situations where, like, again, you innocently do something, and then you kind of like, until you know something, or until you get a warning or a sign. And I believe that those moments are God. I had one other time, and then I'll just move on. One other time, so I was going over to hang out with cousin Robbie and cousin Terrell, and I think it was me and Terrell. We went to the cemetery. Now, I was never a kid. I don't listen. I don't do cemeteries. Never did. I don't even go visit nobody's cemetery after they in the grave. When they in the grave, love you, praise God, see you in the next lifetime. Because I just ain't going to nobody's grave. Never. It's never been me. So we're in, trying to hang out with my older cousins. So I'm in the cemetery with them. And it's weird because around this time, for some reason, I was a teenager, and I was definitely having these moments where that wasn't the first time that I was at the cemetery, and it was just not my thing. But anyway, we're there at night. Robbie's there. It's Terrell. Terrell's there with his girlfriend, and they were twins. His girlfriend, and then she had a twin sister, and I was trying to be cool, so I was there with them. And we're just hanging in the cemetery, and I don't know what the heck we was doing, and we was walking around. And then, like, we see something, and I was like, what in the world? And then we heard somebody, and I'm talking about, like, we booked it. Now, if you know the cemetery, I'm talking about the one towards Frankfurt.
I know what I'm talking about, near their house.
That street right there is really, like, high busy. We booking it. Like, we running because there's somebody chasing us. Like, somebody was chasing us. We running. I'm like, listen, I can run but so fast. I'm gonna run up on somebody's porch and act like I'm about to go in their house. So that's what I did. I ran up on somebody's porch. I was getting in their house. Now I'm about to walk into their door, knock on their door, do something with their door. And this old dude rides down on a bike and stops in the middle of the street. Like, because before that, we didn't know rules. We think there was a ghost. It was like a zombie. We didn't know what it was. So he gets there and he stops and he's like, listen, what are y'all doing in the cemetery? And we're just like, not like, we didn't have nothing to say. Like, we didn't know what to say. And he was like, y'all do not play in the cemetery. A lot of people are homeless and junkies. People are in there, can hurt you. Like, you don't know what you do. Like, do not be in the cemetery at night. It's not a safe place. And I can tell you, once again, was one of those moments where that was the last time I took my butt to a cemetery. Or once I got my warning, I was like, not me. Like, I'm good.
You were listening.
Listen, it took
that's funny.
a certain type of message to picture.
It is a message, and what's funny about that is that you guys went on running thinking it was a bad thing. He's trying to tell you something on a good note, like, yo, I don't need to be in. Like, you know what I mean? So you guys are running, not even knowing why you're running. You're just running and thinking it's bad, but when you stop and realize the guy that was trying to come at you guys was trying to let y'all know, listen, this ain't safe. Do not be in here. You do not belong in here. Like, come on. Y'all young kids and everything. But it is kind of weird. And when you're younger, that's why I say that, a lot of the situations that you're in, you just don't realize how God keeps you from a lot of stuff because you senselessly do these things, like unthinking. Listen, when we was a kid, man, I used to explore these houses. I would not go into nobody's abandoned house now. But when I was a kid, the abandoned houses that was around the way, there was this one house, and they were back in the day. It was like they were the Warlocks. That's what they were called. I don't know if it was the name of their group or whatever. But we went into their house. They moved out. We found a whole bunch of like costume jewelry. It was like there was. I mean, shoot, man, kids, that was like finding treasures. It was it was so interesting, and then it was also kind of neat because like we had these buildings up there that we used to go through, and when the building's abandoned, it's dark. So we're trooping through. It was like we had our own little haunted house or something. It was just crazy stuff that that we did. It was just so wild. And you think about it and you're like, well, you know what, God, you must have kept me because I'm gonna tell you, anything could have happened in these houses.
Let me tell you, when I say I was a kid, I mean, I think you can attest this, but I was the kind of kid, like, I would go out I would leave out at 8. I could leave at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I wouldn't have to come back till 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock at night because I would just be out playing, exploring. I swore in my mind before there was a Dora the Explorer, there was a Freckles the Explorer because I was
Exactly.
I was everywhere and everything. And I will never forget there was on going towards, so my grandma used to live on one street. My mom used to basically live like around the corner. You lived like towards State Road. Remember, we used to live around towards like State Road. And so you remember where like Janelle's house was at? There was this building beside there that was abandoned. I don't know how we got in there, but I remember hanging out with like Antoine and them and going into this building. Now, the thing is that in my neighborhood, there was like, there were some factories because like even the one on State Road right there, like that was a factory. I remember going into whatever building this is and there being like those hazardous like stickers.
Yeah.
The one where it's the blue triangle, the yellow triangle, the red triangle, and the white triangle. You know what I'm talking about? Like the ones they put on stickers, they put on stuff. I remember we found, and
Like the chemical hazardous or something.
bet you I don't even know. God kept me. Maybe this is why I'm so crazy now. Maybe this is a side effect. I promise you when I tell you, we went into this building and we found bottles of like this type of like Pepsi. It was like Pepsi, but it was different Pepsi. Ma, you laughing? I'm so serious. I wish I still had it. Like I wish I took pictures back then or something to show the Pepsi was clear and it had like little, like you know how now what's really big is the boba, you know, the boba teas with the little balls. That's a big thing now. It had like little things like that floating and it was white and it was clear Pepsi. And I remember we were drinking it. It was bottles and bottles of this stuff.
Drinking? Oh my God.
Like
Listen, guys, this is the first time I'm hearing this, okay? I am his mother,
my mom,
and
man.
I've never heard this story.
I probably would have never been able to go back around there again. Like, but we would go into this.
Oh.
It was like our little like hideout. They had notebooks in there. I remember taking a bunch of those stickers. It was like an office. It was weird because it was like an office. Like I never forget, it was like an office. Wasn't no light, nothing. Like it was, and we would do stuff like that all the time. Abandoned houses, abandoned buildings, abandoned factories. It didn't matter. We was going into them. Like we was looking for stuff like that to like get into as kids. I cannot imagine now, like even seeing a kid my age doing something like that. But I was just,
That's wild. Yeah. And that's why I said in a lot of those situations, when I look back, I really have to say that God is really kept, oh my goodness. I got in a stranger's car. Like, yo, I was way down in North Philly. I got in a stranger's car.
You told me about that.
I was scared of my mom. Like, I was like, she's going to kill me. The buses stopped running. I said, man. Yeah.
I've had some stranger into
it was
myself.
It was some crazy stuff. But then the thing was too, I was like, I could outrun him. I was like, this man can't catch me. He was big. I was like, he can't catch me. As long as I keep my hand on the door right here, I can tuck and roll. Tuck and roll.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Even like, that's a whole tangent. We ain't even gonna do that.
I know, right? That's a whole other thing. So
the
discernment is definitely there. It really is. And like I said, it's the most common way you can explain discernment is when people sit there and say, oh, that little voice inside of me. Oh, something just told me not to do. That's discernment. That's
that
discernment.
Intuition moment. That's definitely discernment.
Yeah, and that's what you need to listen to. That goes to our topic, listening to what God is saying. That's what we have to do. That's
exactly. I probably should have listened to that discernment and that little voice and that intuition instead of going into those factories. But through the grace of God, He protected me instead of me listening. It's okay. So they got you still young. He protected you.
Because as a child, you think like a child.
Whatever that was to explore whatever. Ain't no talent.
So you think like a child when you're a child, but now you are a man and you have to grow. And I was trying to go into the scripture. When I was a child, I do a child. So I'm not. There is a scripture along those lines about being a child of you and having that naive type thinking. And God puts us in those moments. He definitely does.
Amen. Glory to the Lord. We got two more types of listening. And one is the comprehensive listening. And this style goes beyond just collecting the nuggets of information, but what it does is it's the comprehensive listener. He seeks to understand and organize the information and the nuggets in the most useful way, often with dialogue if necessary, to deepen an understanding and to gain understanding. That's what comprehensive listening is.
To comprehend.
Yep.
I also do that with the young people that I work with to break down a word, because it helps you to actually.
You take the root word.
Yes. Look at you knowing that. Yes, root. Yes.
I know a little something. You know what I'm saying?
How deep are your roots?
Oh, they run deep.
They run deep. They run deep. Okay. So yes, comprehensive, to comprehend something. That's that's self-explanatory. Yes, I know. I left my computer, so I'm feeling some way. I went straight, I'm straight out of church and everything. We kind of go a little,
church.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not straight out of Compton. I'm not straight out of Compton. It does begin with a C, but I'm straight out of church.
Word.
Straight out of church.
I like skin from the Northeast. No, all right.
Oh, did you go there? You got bars?
A little bit. I'm saying a little something. Okay, all right. The next type of listening is going to be evaluative listening. So evaluative listening is the process of assessing information to the purpose of making a decision. For the purpose of making a decision. Nuggets of information are comprehended against known facts and historical experiences to determine your course of action. Listening to decide. Okay, listening to decide, that's evaluating listening. So that, I guess that will come along the sense of making a decision, listening to decide.
Right. It's evaluating the situation at hand. And this is more of like a, what do you say? Making a choice.
Yeah.
This type of listening is making a choice to choose to either, you're taking in the facts and you're evaluating it. And that's okay. So yeah, that's good. That's good.
So with all that being said, what type of listening were you doing, Miss Monty on the scene?
Listen closely. Listen closely.
Hey, right?
Exactly. Listen closely. Okay. Did he go there? He went there.
Good.
Yo, our producer is okay. You on point with that? Let's see. Was I listening closely?
Were you? So you have appreciative listening, empathetic listening, discerning listening, comprehensive listening, and evaluative listening. What type of listening were you doing in this moment?
I believe that I was involved. So I was evaluating what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
I was comprehending. I was comprehensive.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that I also was discerning the spirit and asking the Lord to make sure that I receive what you're saying. So I think I was all of them.
I think that's a cop-out, but
I know I do.
To say that you were one of them, I would say comprehensive listening, because this is beyond just collecting nuggets of information. It's also giving you feedback. So it's understanding how to take the information that's being given to you and to deepen the understanding of it and gaining a better understanding. You're going back and forth. So it's like a dialogue.
Right. Which is also apprehensive because that's the entertaining one.
What's also, say again?
The first one.
Appreciative?
Which I think, yes, because I think that's
that's more of an observer. So in apprehensive, right. You wouldn't, appreciative, you wouldn't say anything. You're giving too much feedback to be appreciative. You can be appreciative while comprehending, but it wouldn't fall under appreciative listening if you're giving feedback. Because then what would stop it then they would just all blend, you know? If every lane goes into each lane, it just blends.
Okay.
Each one has to have a lane.
Okay. Okay.
Sometimes, the teacher gets schooled by the student, but it's all right. It is. It is.
Okay. If you wanted me to give one, I think I was doing all. Okay.
That is such a cop out.
Okay.
That is such a cop
It's
out.
not a cop out. It is actually.
That's like when
It is
somebody
actually-
when you go. That's like when you go to somebody does a spoken word, and they're like, so what was your favorite part of the spoken word? You're like, it just all just touched me. I just love it all. Like all of it was just so.
All of it.
Oh my gosh! Wow. What
So
the heck is
Hey,
that?
what words in particular? All of them.
The way you began, you were so strong. The way you began, you just kept it moving, and then when you got to the end, you just hit it with that last line. You just hit it.
Yes,
Wow.
yes. You just took me there. Yes, yes. You took me there. Yes.
What
No,
a-
that's not right. That's not right, sir. I'm
that
not
is.
doing that.
That's what you're doing. You're copping out, but it's cool. I answered it for you. Comprehensive.
Okay. Okay.
MG. And so I have two other like bullet points on my little thing. And then I think I'm pretty much good and solid.
Tang.
But the
Bring it
second bullet
home,
point is so, listening when God speaks. So for you, who is God? I think if you're listening when God speaks, you have to kind of not just identify what listening is, but you also have to identify who God is. And the reason why I say that is because for some people, God is universe. God and universe are one. For some people, God, speaking to Holy Spirit, that's God. Speaking to Jesus, that's God. Speaking to all three, that's God. Sometimes people take things and they don't even realize that it's God in their life. Like maybe an addiction. They might have a coffee addiction, or they might have a heroin addiction, or they might just be addicted to, something crazy. And that might be the God of their life. And so that might be who they listening to when they speak. Because when that pipe say, "Smoke me, bruh," they gonna smoke it, bruh. And so I'm joking, but I'm not joking. You know what I mean? So you have to identify who God is in your life as well if you're listening, or if you're listening out for that God figure to speak to you.
Did I tell you because I had a story about, did I tell you the story about that? I believe I did. Like there was an individual that the names and everything are to be protected for the innocent.
Of course.
That was protected for the innocent. That there was a couple, and in this couple, the gentleman was dealing with whatever he was dealing with and things like that. So the woman in the relationship asked, well, how do you cope with things, and how do you whatever. So at the time, the male in this relationship was like, well, I do this, and this, which is not positive things that individual was doing, but that was like what Juan was Frex was saying was their God. That's what they did for their outlet, for their whatever. That's what they were listening to, which was the negative, which was drugs and whatever. And so with that being said, he introduced her to the bad end of what it was that that he did, because she was looking for a way to cope with things. And if all you know is something bad, then that's all you can introduce someone else to. So that's what happened in that situation. And it's like, wow, when you think about it, so you really do have to know and realize what is that you're listening to. What is that inner, or what is that, like you said, Frex, what is that, their God?
Yeah, for sure.
That's wild. It's wild. And you can only introduce someone to what you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess at the end of the story to it all is that I can say that I thank God that the male individual in that situation knows God now. So if that question was to ever be aroused to that person again, they can introduce others to what they do now, which is praising God. which is awesome.
Man, look at
Amen.
God being God.
God works, God. But he actually was being real with what he said, and I think that's what turns you around too. When you actually, I guess, speak the words that well, look, this is all I know.
Yeah.
That God opens you to see more things, but you gotta give it to him. You gotta, like you said, in listening, you gotta give it to him so that your things can be more open to be received.
Definitely.
You're, go on with your bullet points. I'm taking notes too. I got you. Taking notes.
You see this pen? Take them notes. And then also
the people that's on the radio cannot see your pen, Frex. Okay.
That's why I said see my pen and didn't just put it in front of the camera.
Oh, that's what you did.
You gotta.
Oh, was I not listening?
You were not listening.
Maybe I wasn't then, huh? What they say? If you go, you can hear.
Mm-hmm. And so the other thing I was saying, this is my third bullet point, is going to be, so after we've identified how to listen, who is talking to us, what are they saying? I think that's the most simplest thing. Is that once, I think it goes in that order, like what is listening, and then who is speaking, and then what are they saying? What are they saying? And so with that one, I feel like they say that most, most communication is nonverbal, or 90% of communication is nonverbal. And what that basically means is body language plays a big part in communication. Perception plays a big part in communication. Your nonverbal communication speak louder than your actual words. Because I can say, wow, I'm so proud of you. Or I can say, wow, I'm so proud of you. And it's two different things. Now, you see my face.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. No, you can say it. You can say it enthusiastic the way you did. But at the same time, your head is shaking no. Like, You know what I'm saying? When you're saying nonverbal, so you can even be like, yeah, I am so happy for you. And at the same time, you're frowning, your head's nodding.
Your
but
lips
it still has the same in that voice. Yep, you have the same in that voice, but your body language, like, oh, your body language is kind of slouched and looking like I ain't really feeling what So you're right about that. That and that's also a thing that you learn in the psychology. They tell you what your psyche.
I'm always looking for those cues and using discernment.
And also think about it when somebody's talking to you and they got their hand on their hip.
Oh yeah.
Or they have it. Yeah. Like this. That's why practicing holding your hands a certain way when you're listening to somebody. Like to me, like right now, I think maybe like folding your hands in front of you, that shows that you're engaged. But if my hands is like all over the place and I'm looking I try to position my hands. I guess even if I put them down beside me, I'll try to.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just try to put my hands in a certain way to where I'm not being judgmental with my hands or my hand motion when you're talking, because that also, like, are you really listening to me? So
yeah, I think it goes down to perception, because your hands crossed like that, how you look right there, for me might be aggressive. And your hands moving for me might let me know that you're engaged, you're passionate about what you're saying. You are happy, you're excited about what you're saying. That's why your hands are moving so fast. Whereas if your hands are just like that, you're very stern, you're very deport. What is that? Deport? Is it deport?
I'm intrigued though. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
Perception.
So, but it's also the person, because to where you may look at it one way, someone else may look at it different. So it kind of could be knowing the person, but I guess then again, if you don't know the person, you
gotta look for the clues, and that's what I think. That's the part I'm going to get to. You got to look for other clues besides just body language as well. So we serve a God who was not seen by the physical eye. So what body language is the Lord giving you? And so God speaks in other ways. And I think we touched on this a little bit before when we talked about signs and different things. I think, or I believe, I feel because I've experienced this, and this is just, my take, but God speaks to us in other ways. And I will bring up something that's been happening this week. Two things. One is that God keeps these ladybugs. Like these daggone ladybugs. I don't know what in the world. I just keep on seeing these ladybugs, and they're like, and it's not even in places where they're supposed to be. Like the first couple times, like, yeah, it was outside, but it was like 2 in the same day. And then before that, it's probably been years since I've seen a ladybug. So I just know off the back that was kind of interesting. Like, okay, this is different. I haven't seen a ladybug in so long and whatever. But and then the other day I was just minding my business, relaxing in my room, and I looked over, and right near the air conditioner was a ladybug, like in my room next to my air conditioner. My air conditioner is just blowing all types of cold Arctic air throughout my room. I don't know how this ladybug flew against the current of that wind blowing, but that ladybug made a way out of no way. And I was like, this is so interesting because it ain't even on low. This thing is on Arctic blast. This thing is on Frisia. Like, I don't understand how this little ladybug even got over here. And he or she was sitting there very pretty, waiting for me to see their presence. And then I seen the ladybug and I was like, this is crazy. So then I walked up the room a few times and then whatever, I don't know what else I did. And then the ladybug wasn't there no more. I don't know where the ladybug went. But I was just like, man, like this is so crazy because I keep on seeing this ladybug. And so I had to figure out what did that mean. And I'm going to tell you right now. Let me put it up on my phone.
Yeah, I was going to look it up too. I'm glad you looked it up.
Yeah, I did. I got it right here. I took a picture. I was actually looking because there was two things.
I had a ladybug experience at one time too.
Ladybug experience.
Ladybug. You know the other thing too, and I know you said that you also had that recently, is it's finding 10 cent everywhere. Finding dimes. Finding dimes. And that's what's wild to me. I've always found dimes. Like people find pennies everywhere and stuff like that. For me, it was dimes. 10 cent, 10 cent, 10 cent, 10 cent everywhere. So go ahead. What's your
okay?
Look at the doggy on your shirt. That's too funny. Look at that doggy. Move the strings to the side.
It says,
move the strings.
My little baby. It's the little pug. And it says pug life at the bottom. Because I don't live the thug life. I'm living the pug life. You know what I mean?
And you always wanted one of those dogs too.
I did. And one day I'll have one. I've always... Okay, really quick now before
but you know what though? I can say this. You always wanted one of them dogs even before Men in Black.
Oh, way before. I've always
yeah, but you realize that's when that thing came famous.
Like really big, right?
That dog came famous in Men in Black.
I had a name and everything. I've had a name for years since I was a kid. His name was gonna be Timothy. Was it Timothy? Timothy Wiggles. I think that was what it was. No. It was Justin Wiggles. Never mind. It was Justin Wiggles. Wiggles. Yeah, it was Justin Wiggles.
Yeah, because you named Brittany Turtle Timothy.
Timothy Tedwell.
Yeah, yes. The one that got let go in the backyard.
You know what? This is the thing.
And the little boy took it. You know, the little boy next door took it.
No, I didn't know that. But I just know I never told Brittany until she was an adult. She never knew.
The little boy next door took it.
Oh, God bless him, because I got tired of taking care of that daggone Timothy Tedwell.
Mm-hmm. Well, go ahead. Go back to your. We don't want to go away from what we were talking about.
Is that when it comes to naming animals, I've kind of always been like, I don't know, the names just come to me. It's just like beautiful name. They come to me and it's like
you're the animal whisperer.
I am the animal
Okay.
whisperer.
All right, so go back to the ladybugs. Go back to the ladybugs. Let's bring it back. Bring it back.
Okay. Ladybug. Her name was Lydia. Lydia the ladybug. Thank you. She has a name, okay? So back to Lydia. It says a ladybug. If a ladybug lands on you, it says then that's very lucky. In some cultures, it's believed that whatever a ladybug touches will be improved. If you see a ladybug, that means good weather. That means good weather is near for that person, and that they will have luck in love or money. If you kill a ladybug, that's bad luck. You never kill a ladybug. Who does that? Who kills ladybugs? That's so. Anyway.
And see, and you know what's wild too? You're saying that ladybugs are ladybugs and all that stuff like that. I call Brittany that, and she doesn't like that.
Ladybug.
She doesn't. I'll say, hey, ladybug, and and she doesn't. I have no idea. I guess I gotta ask her why. But see, the way I looked at ladybugs, like I said, they used to pop up places for me too. So I looked at them as being, a lovely thing or something, beautiful or whatever. And she doesn't receive it that way.
No, only lovebug, no ladybug.
But I used to. Oh gosh, let me tell you. I went to call somebody. I was like, I forgot what I was talking about. I was like, hey, lovebug, and that was something that I think one of my girlfriends said. She's like, Mom, that's what I call Calvin. I'm like, okay, and that's just something that other people. You're not the only one that uses that. It was because my friend, she talks like that, and so I was like, okay, lovebug, and and I was talking to her because that's how she talks, and girl got offended, like, don't start using my word.
And so I just looked up dime, which is very interesting as well, because so shout outs to my Aunt Z, my Titi Z. Her dime for her represents her father. That reminds her, of her father when she sees a dime all the time. And so it's interesting because it actually says here that many people feel that dime signifies a sign of communication for someone who has passed away, of letting them know that they're not alone. It says some interpretations of finding the dimes are someone or something is trying to get your attention. And it says that the number 10 symbolizes a circle. So a dime might indicate coming to full circle. Things coming back to full circle. Very interesting.
Wow. That is interesting. Your brother is on the 10th.
And so it says, right? Yeah. It says, so the number 10 is symbolic of a circle. This can be interpreted even as coming to full circle. A dime can be represented for unity, completion of a task. Historically, finding money has represented the presence of a loved one. 10 is considered to be the holy number, and it's often seen throughout the Bible.
Oh, so I guess 10 is the completion of my kids, huh?
Thank you, Jesus. Yes, God. Yes, no more. No more.
You don't know. There might be another one or something. Who knows?
No. Not unless, not even unless. No, there's no unless. No.
So then to basically you that was it, right?
That was completion. 10 was completion.
We end with 10, which is completion. So to conclude, as to wrap it up,
give you a scripture to wrap it up.
Our sake, we're going to leave you with 10. Go ahead, give it to us.
And so I have in Isaiah 28, verse 23, and it says, "Listen and hear my voice. Listen carefully and hear my words." And so Isaiah 28, verse 23. Listen and hear my voice. Listen carefully and hear my words. And I think that's interesting because he doesn't just say, just listen to me, but listen to the words that I'm saying.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
I'm gonna put that in the
I see you're blank. You're blank.
Okay, yes. Because Malik Truth said he's watching and listening. Haha, that's a good one. Earl Davis said, hi, Monica G. hey, what's up, Earl? And he said, hey, Eddie. So what's up, Eddie? He said, hey to Malik. And Earl also said, it's all good. That's what's up. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.
I'm gonna put the scripture in here. Isaiah
28, verse 1 to 3.
28, verse 23. Because that makes sense. And it's like you said, don't just listen. You have to listen to the words
that are coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, and that's funny because that was from one of my movies.
Oh,
you know, I like, you know, Chris when
Rush Hour.
Yeah, Rush Hour. Do you understand the words that come out of my mouth? Which that is so like when you take things on a other than literal and go analytical with it. Analytical, like go deeper, right? Analytical is when you take it more than just literal.
Yes.
It's just kind of wild. That's all. So take the simple and turn it into something complex. So since we end with the number 10, that concludes. And I pray that you were listening
actively
and checking it out. Yes, actively listening. So which one was that? Comprehensive? Evaluate? What evaluation?
No. If they're right now, hopefully it's appreciative. So it'll be appreciative listening because they're just sitting back and hopefully they're enjoying us. So
then that sounds good. So we hope that you guys were having appreciative listening. But then also it could be comprehensive listening because they could be taking notes. Right? So that'd be good. We put scriptures in there.
I gotta go back to my notes. It would be, so for it to be comprehensive, it has to be a dialogue. So if they're just taking just notes, they could be looking for nuggets. So that would be the one before versus discerning.
Okay.
Discerning listening, because it's just looking for those.
Discerning what we're saying.
Trying to figure out what nuggets they can, keep.
Pop in there. Okay, sounds good. And again, thank you guys for listening. We're going to come with a few sports items.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna hit that, and then we're gonna do some music. So
you gonna rock out with the socks out.
Yes, rock out with your socks out. I don't have any socks on right now.
I don't either. I got my toes. I'm rock out with my toes out.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna rock out with my socks out. Yes, I'm very, very comfortable. No socks. Rocks out, socks out. I have socks on. Why are you making faces, Frex? Frex, you're making faces. He's making faces at me right now. What type of listening is that? Because you're making faces. I'm almost thinking that you're not comprehending what I'm saying, or what I'm saying might be making you think that I'm crazy or something. Is that what you're thinking?
I think that's what it is.
I would like you to share. Elaborate on that.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Oh, okay. Because I like, to let my little feet air out and wiggle my toes and stuff like that. Don't make stinky faces.
Oh, no. That was...
For those who cannot see, he's making stinky faces right now. You better fix that nose.
I think there was something on my nose.
Oh, the ladybug?
It might have been.
I see the little dot. Is that the ladybug?
Lydia,
the ladybug. Okay, so I'm gonna tap into an sport. All right, just a little bit. Season starting. We got the this is the beginning stuff. We're getting ready for football season. That's my favorite season, guys. I love football and I love boxing. And I was just having a conversation with someone recently about boxing because we haven't had any good heavyweight boxing matches in ages. Like, not a good fight. So I think in comparison to that, I believe that that's why a lot of people are going to the MMA, the UCFs and stuff like that, because you get a better fight now. Like
Yeah,
just getting
it's just not as exciting as it used to be. It's not like when you had your Oscar De La Hoyas, your Winky Wrights, your George Foreman's. It is not. It's just the excitement's not there anymore. It's just not.
It isn't. So now you have a lot of people who are really going into the MMA fighters and watching those fights and stuff. Like now, when them things come up on Saturdays, like, oh yeah, I gotta get to a fight.
Okay,
I'm like, well, what fight is that?
It's so interesting too.
What is it, UFC or United Federal or whatever
UFC.
it is, the
It's
MMA,
UFC.
whatever it is.
Yeah, UFC. And so it's crazy
Yeah.
because I remember when I was in the military, so we talking years ago, I remember when like the UFC, the MMA fights they were just coming out. Like they would have a theater and they would bring the game on there, but that was like in 2000, I want to say 2008 actually. It was brand new. Like nobody, it was like a big thing. It was just up and coming. Now fast forward, we're talking about a good more than 12 years later. It is just ridiculous.
It's on and popping. It is on and popping. Like they're really, it's in. It's really in. So that's that's an interesting take. I didn't get any stats on that, but I was just saying that I had a conversation about it, and I do like it. And your brother likes that too. Him and Jaquan, they're into that. Like big time. Yeah, they're really into that.
Of course, and there's like this do a lot of grappling and all that. So there's that element of like wrestling-esque, but it's actually like more intense. So of course they're gonna love it because wrestling is like the thing. And that's what a lot of guys actually, like a lot of guys who were into wrestling kind of like grew up or I guess evolved to is the MMA and the UFC fighting because it has that feeling where it's kind of like,
Combination.
Kind of like wrestling, fighting wise. It's not wrestling entertainment wise because they don't do a lot of like the entertainment things that wrestling does, but like the fighting stance and the fighting wise, it's like wrestling. So
yeah, that's good stuff. Well, I do have Eagles. They're my team, and I know that you guys know that. No, Eagle does not sound like that. No, an eagle does not sound like that. Right? Yes, thank you. Just clear your throat. No. Anyway, do not listen to the pigeon sound that Frank is saying. Oh, listen, now he got bird calls.
That's a pigeon. I have a lot of balcony. I think I know. I have a pigeon out here. His name is Mike. Michael, his full name. I call him Mike. He hangs out right on my window. When we talk,
so how does he sound?
He goes, and I'm like, yo,
okay, but an eagle,
which means what's up, Juan? You know what I'm saying? We got a whole conversation.
Oh, that's what he do. Okay.
We know
okay.
I'm don't.
But I don't know. I know you're the animal whisperer, but right. I don't think an eagle sounds like you said. I don't think that's an eagle.
Yeah, he might be a little.
Okay. Well, anyway, moving forward. Our quarterback that we have, Jalen Hurts. Listen. He is a melanated individual. I just wanted to state that. So, I believe that he has things a little harder than some other people.
Oh, excuse me.
But also, matter of fact, I just had a conversation. I was talking about the coach that we used to have and realizing that I believe he's getting a check, but he's not a coach anywhere. How does that happen?
Who? Oh, wow. I need that kind of money.
Who?
Peterson's not a coach anywhere, but he's still getting a check. And you also know another thing. We still have money tied up in players who's not even on our team.
Yeah, but you gotta remember something. Hold on. Peterson was under contract.
That's my point, and we're paying for that person.
But you don't understand. But But you're not understanding something. Just because they fire somebody, you still have to honor that contract.
I understand that. That's some good money for me to kind of sit back. But then again, too, what I was saying that this may hurt his career because he's not locked into being a coach anywhere, and it's like nobody's running to pick him up.
Man, I'm locked into the bank. I could care less.
See, I got you on that. But at the same time, too, if you have a passion for coaching, then it's kind of a hard situation right now because it's like I would want to get picked up. I would want someone to pick me up.
I got a passion for the bank. I'm just trying to hold you. I ain't trying to.
I hear you. I'm listening. I am listening. The other item that I'm looking at here is that this season, I believe, and if there's a question about it, I think it's going to make or break Jalen Hurts.
Like I said earlier, Jalen. No, it's not going to make or break him. Because see, here's the thing about Philadelphia. Here's the thing about Philadelphia. First of all,
right now,
you got to remember something about Philadelphia. Most stars do not become stars until they leave Philadelphia.
Facts.
There are so many Sixers, Eagles, Phillies, Flyers, even Soul.
And I was.
They get,
my boy used to play for Soul. Yeah.
They get crapped on here. They go somewhere else, and they are thebomb.com.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
go ahead. I was thinking on this also. Go ahead.
If Jalen Hurts needs to go to, like I said earlier, he needs to go to the Pro Bowl, the Hall of Fame, and win the MVP all in the same season. Because they didn't want his black butt here to begin with.
Right.
I'm gonna keep it. You know where I'm gonna go, Monty. You know I
got you. I'm hoping that it doesn't have to be that intense to where it has to be all three, like you're saying.
Really?
But I know. I want to have faith in him because
it got nothing to do with him. He ain't got blonde hair, blue eyes, and his name ain't Joey.
I got you on that end too, but you also have to have people to back you that can also keep you in line to help to play with. You have to mesh together. So they all have to come together.
All right, with the exception of Donovan McNabb, because in my opinion, he truly was a bum.
Oh, wow.
Name one black quarterback that the Eagles actually stood behind. I'll wait.
No. I'm going to give you one because he used to live in my neighborhood. Oops, my phone. He lived right up the street from us. Oh my gosh, why is his name not coming to me?
Who, Vic?
No, Vic didn't live up. Oh,
Cunningham?
No. Yes. No. Cunningham?
Pete?
Yes. Was it Cunningham? Yes. I think it was.
See, that's the bad part. I want you to look at your hands.
I think it was.
And see how many fingers you need to count the black quarterbacks we had. I'll wait again.
Oh yeah, I only need one hand. I don't need more.
Exactly. Now,
but it was Cunningham. I think it was Cunningham.
That's bad.
I think it was. Yeah. Well, I don't. I don't want to get into it because I really don't want to say it's black, white, whatever. That's what I'm going to say. As a person, I believe.
All right. Well, I'll take it to the board of the show and I'll say it. Because I have zero cares about that.
We're giving you our take today. That's pretty much where we're going to sum it up. I really want to ask a question. The question is about, is it going to make or break his career? And see, like Disco said, he thinks that he has to go all above and beyond, 10 steps higher than anything that's been done for him to actually, but I
as far as here, but somebody else will pick him up.
Yes, right here. Yes,
somebody else will pick him up, and he gonna be the bomb because the boy can play.
I think that he can too. It's really, and it's also a matter of backing him. The key thing here is if the head is not straight, then the rest of the body's not going to work right. Your head to this whole thing is off. Like you
All
said.
right, let me ask you this.
Presidency or whatever it is, president or something like that. But the head is off.
Let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Where is Lincoln Financial Field located?
It's located in South Philly, guys.
That's my case.
Yes. I already know where he was going with that one. It's in South Philly. And
rest my case.
I understand, but like I said, I want to take it. I believe the head.
In the heart of Rizzo land. Okay.
All right.
Don't do that.
We gave you Money on the Scenes take. We gave you.
Oh, my take. Oh yeah, that's right. Freckles.
We gave Freck's take, and then we gave the random black guy that comes on. He gave his take.
Cisco's take.
We're gonna wrap it up.
Wrap it on
So,
up, y'all.
We want to thank you guys for listening and for
It's
also
so
giving your take.
The random black guy gets so controversial.
Yes, he does. And you can check him out on the Melanated Morning
You
Show
sure can.
because he will go all in.
I really am. You just gave me a topic. I really am. That's Wednesday's topic. That's what Wednesday's topic.
He is going to go in. And I will be tuning into that, checking that out when he does that. I'll be on the sideline and I'll be throwing a little comments in there. So we'll look forward to that. And guys, listening again, you're listening to Our Take with Inspiration in Sports with Monty on the Scene.
And Freckles holding it down.
And we get our intro as our outro till we get our outro.
Hey!
Producer.
Oh, we back to that.
Because we know what time it is.
You know what? You lucky you got this intro because I had a situation.
There was some situations earlier. We had to get it together. We got it together.
We're glad we had this time together.
Stop.
I'm going to go where everybody.
I'm gonna do a mashup with that. That's gonna be my new outro.
Glad we had this fun together. We had a laugh and smile too.
You know what time it is.
Mighty on the Scene, the Grown Folks Radio.
Yo, you forgot your
What time it
boy.
is.
Mighty on the Scene, the Grown Folks Radio.
You forgot me
What time it
again.
is.
Mighty on the Scene,
Know what time it is.
Mighty on the Scene, the Grown Folks Radio.
Yo, you forgot me
What time it
again.
is.
Mighty on the Scene, the Grown Folks Radio.
Know what time it is.
Yo, it's your boy Freckles and we holding it down. Our take coming through when we taking the crown.
Money on the Scene with your spiritual outlet. Hot and banging topics. Sports, we stay lit.
Know what time it is.
Well, you know what time it is, guys. It's time for us to head out. We want to thank you for listening to Our Take.
Yes.
All right.
And I
And
just
that was
want
what
to
we had
say,
to do
I just want to say, R.I.P. Biz.
I know.
today. Yes, I forgot to mention that. Yo.
That would hit home because that was a brother I actually knew. That would hit home.
Yeah, I did too. We were doing our little group prayers in amongst each other, family wise, because I feel we're his extended family. Because I feel what you're saying. When you know somebody and you know them other than just the entertainment and being there, and you kind of conversate and got to know him as a person, that's what's up. And it does touch you too, like extended family. So I feel you on that. And we want to say prayers to his family, to all of his friends and us. As in the entertainment, I think is as extended family, and just we're there. But like, just know that we're holding you guys up on the outside as far as his family. We're holding you up in prayers and asking God to keep you guys.
Yeah, and or that dude. I got one thing I wanted to share because, like I said, that one was close to home, I guess. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like her. Yeah.
So, on that note,
Leave this monkey. Leave this monkey. Leave this monkey.
Our own self, she's true.
Leave this monkey.
Mr. Dynamite!
So fast.
Yes, y'all are killer like me. You can either dance or just have a seat and listen to the way in what I am slaying. A different kind of rapper language that I am saying. To all the party people, let it go with my info. When it comes to rockin' parties, I am a info maniac, brainiac for doing my dancing. My record make the music, will put you in a trance and inside your body. And like it's a party, and you won't be fighting the ill and you just be partying down. With the funky sound with yours truly. I'm the original B.I.C.M.A. Okay, I was the E and I and to have fun and not be number one. And just here to let you know who's like running the place. And everywhere that I perform and do a show, as long as you know that.
Nobody beats the band.
Nobody beat the band.
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 Yes, that's what's up. That's it, guys. Again, thanks for listening to Our Take and to Thine Own Self Be True.
Yes, word say word. Holla at y'all.
that part.